Hi, this is Magda from wnetrzazewnętrza. In this episode, I'll show you a 140 square meter semi-detached house for a family of 5, which has been decorated in natural colors using natural materials.
Hi, my name is Zosha and welcome to my home. I live here with my husband Maciek and our 3 children, 8-year-old Roja, 6-year-old Tadzio and 3-year-old Łucja. We have been living here for 9 months. This is our first home. Before, we lived in apartment blocks in Warsaw, so we're learning what it's like to live in a house. We tried to make this interior as soothing and cozy as possible so that we could really relax here. That's why we surrounded ourselves with natural materials like wood, linen and stone. The colors we used in the interior are also rather subdued and calm. We tried to surround ourselves with beautiful objects. I paint watercolors, I do illustrations, but also objects by Polish creators, furniture from Polish brands. We have trees around us. After the hustle and bustle of Warsaw, it's a nice change. I invite you to watch.
We start as usual at the door, only this time from the outside. And here next to us we have a garage, and on the other side a gate to the garden. There are little boxes on the front door for keys, while at the end of the hallway there are doors with a mirror that lead to the garage. And thanks to choosing such doors, there was no need to buy another mirror for this room. Here we have a built-in unit along the entire wall with 2 deep closets, between which there is a chest for smaller items with a seat so you can sit comfortably, and inside behind the chest there is also a shallower cabinet with shelves for shoes. From the hallway, you don't enter the living area directly. Instead, there's a corridor from which you can enter the bathroom or the study, which we'll take a look at now. Desks for work often have a raw style. They're white, gray, black, with metal elements, very office-like, but at home, it's nice to feel at home. And here, as you can see, we managed to find a beautiful wooden piece of furniture. And on top of it there are various wooden accessories. Here is a headphone stand, here is a tray for small items, and the whole setup looks beautiful and it's nice to work in such an environment. And what you do is also important for us to work well. It's the right acoustics. When we're having different conversations, it's good not to have echo in your environment, and that's why there are acoustic panels on the wall here. For books, relatively small shelves work best, but when we're storing all kinds of things, including equipment like a printer, taller and deeper shelves are definitely better. Here behind the bookshelf we have an owl-shaped sofa bed that can be unfolded, so the office can become a guest room at night. The bathroom on the ground floor is not just a guest toilet, but a fully functional bathroom with a shower. And that's really useful when there are more people living in the house, or when guests come over, sleep on the ground floor, and have a bathroom close by. It's also helpful in extreme situations, like a broken leg when you can't go upstairs, or if there's a problem in one of the bathrooms, so you can comfortably use the other one. The toilet paper holder was hung directly in front of the toilet. It's not the obvious place, but in this space, it's simply the most convenient. Here, on the other hand, under the cabinet with the sink, there's a hidden potty. It's gray and basically blends into the floor. But even on a different floor, this color wouldn't stand out. And that's a common problem with children's accessories. They're just so bright. Bright yellow, bright green, bright pink. You just can't help but notice them. We walk into the bathroom and the first thing we see are those plastic accessories. Think about whether it might be better to look for more subdued ones so they blend into our homes instead of dominating them. Now we're entering the living area with the kitchen, dining room and relaxation zone. On the floor we have layered oak boards, and here are the stairs leading upstairs. And next to it there's a storage space under the stairs. All the windows here go all the way down to the floor, so designing the kitchen was quite a challenge. Because how do you get more countertop space without blocking the window? There were different ideas, including putting a countertop here but without a cabinet, as if there would still be access to the window underneath it, but in the end we decided on something else. And here we have a cabinet on wheels, which isn't connected to the rest of the built-in furniture. And thanks to that, you can move it out to get to the window, for example, to clean it. It's a rare occasion. Usually the cabinet is full of things. There are appliances on top here, so it's not that easy to move it. But when we want, we can easily remove and move them. It's a clever solution. And how was the rest of the built-in furniture arranged? Here we have a wine fridge. Here is the cargo. Next, regular drawers, cutlery on top. Interestingly, these are drawers under the induction cooktop. Take a look. Next, we have a corner cabinet, just with shelves. There's no kidney-shaped shelf here, no semicircles, no pull-out systems, just shelves. And notice that there are 3 of them. And normally those different systems for corner cabinets, not any pull-out ones. And notice that there are 3 of them. And they are pronounced penkonce, not benkonce. And they are pronounced, and here it's not penkonce, but not benkonce. And they separated. Under it, there's a cabinet for baskets. Here are shelves, and up here in the cabinet at the very top, there's a grate. At the top near the ceiling, and that's why an opening was cut in the front, so there would be airflow. Above the oven, there's a deep cabinet with shelves, a pantry, and here at the end, a wide refrigerator. The steps were personalized by applying wallpaper. Wallpapering often leaves leftovers, so it's great to reuse them later. Interestingly, various parts of the house have steps with different wallpapers. By the kitchen peninsula, on the dining room side, there are 3 children's chairs with adjustable seats and footrests. And interestingly, each one is labeled with the child's name, which solved all the conflicts like "Mom, but he took my seat." Here it's easy to check. In the dining area, there's a large extendable oak table with an extra leaf hidden inside, which is very convenient because you don't have to find extra storage space for it. And when we want to extend it, we don't have to go anywhere or look for anything. Everything is right here. And for occasions like holidays, the table is rotated and extended so that the lamp remains in the center. A track was installed on the ceiling, making it easy to move the hanging lamp. Above the kitchen and the hallway from the entrance, there is a suspended ceiling that visually separates this area, and then smoothly transitions into the curtain cover. And since we're talking about curtains, let's also talk a bit about the costs. All the curtains for this house, which are mainly made of linen and are blackout in some places, together with the Roman blind, including measurements, installation, and rails, cost a total of 30,000 zlotys. The house itself, on the other hand, was bought from the developer for a price above 900,000. And the residents estimate the costs of finishing the interior and exterior to be about the same amount. It's not surprising, considering the quality of the elements that were chosen here and how much custom-built furniture there is, because I think only in the study there isn't a cabinet that's custom-made, and in the other rooms you can find something everywhere, as you'll see in a moment. And all of this custom-built furniture cost over 200,000 in total.
I'm an illustrator, I paint with watercolors. Here, when I'm at home, I have a view of the garden. I mainly paint birds, plants, and animals. I also like painting flowers the most. These illustrations of mine are created with the idea of making everyday life more beautiful. That's why I create these everyday objects using them.
In the lounge area, there is also a floor-to-ceiling window. However, here it's less so. It's easier than in the kitchen. You can easily put a sofa in front of the large window, In front of it, however, there's an oak bench, which is very comfortable. It has a large tabletop where you can spread out board games or put food. Everyone has enough space for their plate. The possibilities for using this furniture are excellent. Recently, those tiny coffee tables have become very popular, where after putting down 2 cups, it's actually hard to fit anything else. To be honest, I personally definitely prefer larger surfaces that allow you to spend time together more actively. The initial plan was to hide the television in the built-in furniture, but in the end, as you can see, it's out in the open. However, thanks to the fact that it's inside the interior, it doesn't stand out that much. Today the weather is beautiful, so we went out to the garden. And right here by the patio doors, there's a large terrace. At first there were concerns that it might be too big, but the crew said they've never had anyone complain about having a terrace that's too large. Too small? Absolutely. But the other way around. And look, this space really is perfect. There's room for a table, for a sofa. You can relax comfortably without the risk of falling off the deck when you move your chair away from the table. And in the future, there will be a roof here, so you'll be able to spend time outside even during summer rains. I really like it when the indoors and outdoors blend together like this, when we have a comfortable space to spend time outside. I don't have a garden, only a balcony, but it's usually open in summer. And being close to the plants and the sun is really pleasant. Remember our episode about hedges? Maria and I talked there about what alternatives there are to the commonly found ones here. And here we have a great example of a hornbeam hedge. Of course, they're still very small and need to grow, but you can already see that they look great. Various shrubs have been planted between the trees, and among them there's also a garden sculpture. From a distance it looks like a pine cone, but up close you can see little houses. There is a wide range of garden houses available in stores. However, many of them are made of plastic or come in bright colors, which may not suit every garden. Here we managed to find a beautiful wooden house in colors that fit in wonderfully. This is where the robotic lawnmower station is located. I've already shown you robotic vacuum cleaners on the channel, and I also have one at home. It's very convenient. And here we have the topic of the lawnmower, which is also a fantastic solution, because it's not like after finishing a whole week of work and wanting to spend time in the garden, we have to start by struggling with the mower. Instead, the mower takes care of it while we're away, and then we can enjoy a beautiful space. Behind the house, there's an extra shed for tools and bicycles. And now, since we've already taken a look at the nooks and crannies of the garden, I invite you upstairs. Upstairs, there are 4 bedrooms, 3 children's rooms and 1 parent's bedroom. There's also a bathroom and a laundry room, which is where I'd like to take you first. The laundry room has convenient built-in cabinets. We have a sink here so you can hand wash some items. We can set aside the countertop depending on what we're using at the moment. And below there are cabinets so things don't have to be left out in the open. And here are the main players of this room, the washing machine and the dryer. And look at how the doors open. The washing machine opens to the left, the dryer to the right. Fortunately, here we have access to the appliances from both sides. We can approach the dryer from the countertop side, and we can easily access the washing machine while standing partly here in the hallway. However, if the appliances were placed in the corner at the end of the room, access would definitely be more difficult. And while some dryer manufacturers offer the option to reverse the door so it opens the other way, unfortunately that's a problem with washing machines. And of course there are models on the market with doors that open the other way. I actually have one like that at home. However, such models are rare, and I feel like the selection is getting smaller every year. It definitely shouldn't be that way. And I don't understand why manufacturers are actually limiting our choices like this, especially when opening the door on the wall and reaching for the washing machine above it isn't really convenient. We should have a choice, so I'm appealing to the manufacturers to do something about it. Some neighbors didn't decide to put up this wall by the stairs and create a room here, but instead left the space open, partly because of this window, which not only lets in a lot of light, but is also an exit to the terrace. This is also useful for a laundry room, because in the summer you can easily hang your laundry outside to dry. The upstairs bathroom has a shower and a bathtub. And we have a lot of gold elements here, mostly in brushed gold. However, in the case of the shower, we couldn't find such doors, so here the gold is shiny, but that's okay. And everything still looks nice together. Thanks to combining gold with delicate colors and wood, the effect turned out really elegant and subtle. There's definitely no extravagance here. Now we're entering the room of the youngest 3-year-old daughter, where there's a bed under the windows, and on this side, by a very tall wall, because of the slants, this wall is probably over 3 meters high. And here we have a tall wardrobe, of course custom made, and on the wall a beautiful wallpaper, which makes a special impression on such a large surface. Mosquito nets have been installed on the windows. In the other bedrooms, they are permanently installed. Here, we have control over them. We can completely uncover them, reach the handle, open the window, and then close it to keep mosquitoes from biting us at night. In the room of our 6-year-old son, the wardrobe was made under the slant, and on the largest wall we have wallpaper again, this time with a cloud motif. The older children have large beds with drawers and an extra pull-out bed, so guests can stay over comfortably. And I think we all know that kids' sleepovers can be a lot of fun. In the son's room, among the toys, we can also find some rather unusual children's room equipment, because there's a box of CDs. And of course, when I was a child, I used them too, and they were very popular back then. But nowadays, hardly anyone uses them. However, apparently the son has a lot of fun being able to put them into the player and play different songs by himself. However, there's also a little speaker under the desk that can be controlled from the phone, and each child has one in their room, so in the evening they can listen to audiobooks. Each one can listen to something different, just as they want, which solves the conflicts that often arise when reading to children, because the parent doesn't get frazzled, and the children rarely agree on their favorite titles. Now we're in the room of our oldest 8-year-old daughter, and here on the floor we have a unique rug in the shape of a water lily leaf with a poof shaped like a flower. It's a very cute combination, and the rug itself is made of cotton. It wasn't easy to find one like that, but we finally managed, and now all the children have cotton rugs in their rooms, which can simply be washed in the washing machine. Here, on the other hand, is a desk which currently doesn't have a chair. The chair has been moved out to the terrace because everything is happening out there. This little house immediately caught my eye. It's wooden, beautiful, in wonderful colors, with charming little flowers like folk paintings on cottages in open-air museums. Inside, there are small wooden furniture pieces, including downstairs. A wooden floor. How could you not be delighted? It's a great toy. And what's more, it turned out that this is a house with a history, and just as it now belongs to the daughter, it once belonged to the mother. It has been in the family all these years. In this room, there is also a wardrobe under the slant, and you can see that the fronts reach all the way to the top. We have shelves here that allow us to make good use of this unusual space. And that's really great about custom-made wardrobes. And sometimes, despite everything, fillers are simply made, permanently taking away our access to some corners. In the parents' bedroom, the built-in furniture is on 2 places. We have wardrobes, and at the end, the last front, it's actually a panel, not a front, and you can't open it. However, here we have access to that space in the back. In this part of the cabinetry, a solution has been made that is very convenient and not used that often, which is simply regular drawers that you can access right away, not just behind the fronts. This, on the other hand, is a desk, a workspace, with drawers underneath, and in this, there are Zofia's Works original drawings. paintings actually, watercolors, illustrations. Here in the back we have a small storage space, quite unusual, but it's worth using every bit of space, so it's great that it was created. And what if I wave my hand? I turn on the light because it's a motion sensor switch. Zosia has already shown you the scarves, and I'll also show you the eyeglass cleaning wipes, which also feature her illustrations. And I think it's a great idea to put illustrations on everyday objects, because after all, how many walls do we have in our apartment? Namely, that space is limited, and there are so many beautiful illustrations that it's sometimes hard to resist them when we can buy an everyday object with our favorite picture on it. It's definitely easier to decide on that. The radiators in the upstairs bedrooms got such covers. The furniture board covers the metal part. However, here between it and the little shelf, there is enough space for the heat to escape into the room. If any furniture or accessories caught your attention, feel free to ask in the comments, and also check the description below the video, because I often leave various useful links there. And if you're looking for more interior design inspiration, be sure to subscribe to wnetrzazewnetrza, watch our other videos, and also check out our store at wnetrzazewnetrzaofficial, where you'll find various interior design books full of all kinds of practical tips. And now it's time for me to say goodbye. I hope to see you again soon in the next videos. Bye!